like, what?
Andy was engaged.
He was engaged. He was quite engaged. So, yes, this is Microbusiness Meetup. We've got 2 new people here, and everybody else has rolled through at least once before. A couple notes: we're webcasting it. It's available on YouTube now or after,
Could I watch it on YouTube right now?
you could watch it currently.
Yeah.
You could watch it
on,
put makeup on it.
Yeah, it's all right. It's a low res feed. Don't worry about it. It'll be all right. But yeah, the Microbusiness Meetup is meant to kind of give a channel for a lot of the micro businesses. It's only $10. It's not too bad. But other than that, Paul, do you want to talk about the boot camp? Or, yeah, whatever. Or the breakfast.
Whatever. Starting September 22nd, so towards the end of September, me, Neil, and then CJ Maurer of the Sea Marketing, we're kind of co-launching a program. It's our first run of it. It's a 9-week program designed really for micro business level people who are looking to grow business and develop that marketing structure that not only you can produce some good results in the short term, but then also have a framework that you can create your long term. We're going to make recommendations, so based on those elements of who you are, who you're looking to reach, you know the specific tools to use, you create the strategy to use them, and you create the message that you communicate with. And then the last 3 weeks, it's basically taking it to the street. So you take everything you put together over 6 weeks, and then you get out there and you implement it. And then we'll coach you and support you around how to manage yourself, manage your commitments effectively, manage your communication and your own productivity effectively, and then course correct. Any long journey, you want to be constantly looking to course correct or wherever you go off track. So we're going to give you the mechanisms and the support to do that. And at the end, we'll celebrate
The person who bought the pizza. So if anybody has a slice of pizza, you can thank Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
And then Dave also runs breakfast with Dave.
I eat breakfast every morning. If you want to eat breakfast with me.
Right. So on Fridays, breakfast with
But
Dave.
on Friday morning, I eat breakfast at 1002 Elmwood, which is called Asher's Juice Bar and Cafe, with 30 of my closest friends. We have a networking group that we run there. It's a pretty easygoing group. We don't have a lot of rules.
group. For the most part, it's still 27, 25 people showing up. So there's clearly some value going on. Otherwise, people will find something else more fun to do.
And by proxy, you're saying there's no value to this.
Yes. Well, no,
That's
just
not
less.
And some of you know I'm in an awful lot of networking groups, and I don't really know exactly why this is, but all the groups I'm in, there's more people doing business with each other in this Friday morning group than any of the other groups I'm in. So yeah, it's a good place.
I'm speaking
like
at
I
work.
say, I only go
Yeah.
a couple of times.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was at the last meeting.
Okay.
So they said I don't think we're going to have that meeting just because it's so close to WordCamp.
I thought WordCamp was early August, no?
It's in September. I think, so I'm not sure. We should double check that.
All right,
So-
we'll double check that. I'll put it in the email.
Yeah.
WordCamp dates and and then Connie's talked about that meetup before. They've been very helpful and
Very helpful.
appreciative of Brown.
And I go to developers and they help my stupid problems too. They don't get friends. They put up with
I just shot Great Cliffs Manor yesterday,
Yeah.
the Frank Lloyd Wright House down in Derby. And if anybody wants to see any of those pictures, I can just, in other pictures I've done, I have it on my Kindle here and I'll pass it along. Mark Facebook, there are the pictures. You can see it. You can pass it along.
I'm Connie Oswald Stofko, and I publish the online gardening magazine for Western New York. It's free to subscribe. When you subscribe, the newest issue is emailed to you every Tuesday, and it's called BuffaloNiagaraGardening.com.
And it's great.
My name is Paul Greiner. I'm a program leader and a consultant with ALS Consulting. And we work with businesses and organizations.
Media marketing. And I also write for an online business magazine, so I do journalistic writing as well. From a marketing standpoint, I help companies talk about themselves. Sometimes an owner knows so much about their business, they just have trouble putting it into words. So we kind of sit down and go through all that and come up with some nice, concise messaging for their website or whatever marketing purpose they need.
Cool. I'm David Field, and I own a company called Kaleidoscope Computer Services. We do home and business IT support. Our core business is taking care of computers and networks and that sort of thing, but really we do anything that has to do with technology. If you need a big screen TV hung in your car, we can do that. So that's what I do in my day job. I'm also a
It's nice, but I also get paid to spend time with people, do a little fun wine education, things like that. So it's great to always meet people. So I'm always looking to meet new people and stuff like that.
I'm Andrea. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm going to be opening my doors within the next couple weeks, I hope. My niche is to work with attorneys, get their clients ready for court dates and such. I do stress management, anger management, substance abuse, those kinds of things. Got to give a couple little shout outs if you don't mind. Dave is going to help me get a computer so I can Google Calendar or whatever. Because I learned at Paul's on stock that I need to do things and not be afraid. So again, a shout out, and boot camp it's in my phone calendar to be transferred to the Google Calendar.
There you go.
All right.
My name is Eric Ensminger. I'm with Marketing Tech, and what my company is a marketing task force.
Red Bull and all these unhealthy things with our products. And I get to work with young entrepreneurs, and these types of meetings help me help them. So it's my
My name is Lauren, and I'm working on a startup to bring an arcade to Buffalo. I just launched my website and started getting my survey going on August 1st, and it's been really great. I got close to 100 surveys, and it's really cool because when I go out in the community, like distributing my survey, people are like, "Oh, I saw your poster and Lexington Co-op. I saw it on the spot." It's just been really great, like seeing how well people like the idea. An arcade in New York invited me down, and I'm working on restoring my own. And I'm going to Fan Expo Canada next week, and it's just been an amazing ride. We also have a comic on our website if you want to check it out.
Cool. Well, I'm Neil Carroll. Most people, I guess, probably know me here, but with Nickel City Graphics, and we're a marketing agency for small businesses and organizations. Our focus is on creating video for the web. And the reason we like to do that is you can take...
Besides networking, like really grow your business and continually receive referrals and connections and things like that. Because that's one thing I kind of struggle with. I mean, yes, it probably would help if I wasn't as shy as I was, but just get a little wine in me and I'd write right out.
Well, good thing.
That's why I do what I do. But that's been something I've been struggling with. Over the past year. I started a year ago, but really 4 months ago, I really focused and said, I really want to do this. But like really connecting with the community. So.
Do you have any kind of online presence that you, like a bigger pool of people that you can kind of speak to and get feedback from and stuff? It has its own values for sure. And I wouldn't stop at Facebook. Like when I do social media campaigns for clients, we always do Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google Plus. And Google Plus nobody uses that much, but it is owned by Google, who kind of rules the world in SEO land. So that would be my 2 cents on that.
And for something like wine, you might be able to, I don't know, Pinterest. That's how I get myself up there. I'm very active in social media and putting out engaging content. I engage my clients on social media. I also drive a car that's highly visible. And even Randy said to me today, how do you hide in that? Well, I don't, because I don't want to. So it depends on your business and your business model exactly how you're going to do that. That just happens to fit. Having a card that's highly visible that tells everybody what I do just happens to fit my business model, and it works.
So maybe it's not just likable; it's visible and likable, right?
Well,
It's
it's hard
like
to like
it-
something you can't see.
I think
Who really is interested in having fun social time with friends and doing something new and experience. So instead of going to a winery and trying to figure out, okay, we're gonna winery hop and, do all these tastings of winery, who's gonna drive, who's gonna do this, how we're gonna get there, it's the experience is brought right into your home.
Who was your point of contact on the Connecticut gig and these different gigs? Like, was it one person?
Yeah,
How did they contact you? How did they find you?
one who found me through my website, and the other one was a friend who I was on my personal Facebook page, and had just posted something about just finishing up at a wine tasting and heading home and stuff. And they're like, oh, can you do it in Connecticut? I was like,
that.
Yeah, and let me say that your business is a lot like mine in the sense of the photos for me, like I have kind of conversations with other photographers, right? And the actual work is probably like 40% of it. And like I shoot a lot of weddings. The other 60% is making people feel good, relax on their wedding day, being likable, being part of the, you know what I mean? There's a line, you don't want to be the party, but you know what I mean? You have to, there's somewhere in there where it's your presentation, it's who you are, you're selling yourself essentially. And for a lot of photographers anyway, it works better to market as yourself. My name is how I market myself, right? I don't know how you do it or if it's the name of a business, but it almost sounds like it would be better if you marketed your business as your name, wine or whatever it is. I don't know how the corporation works or anything like that, but either way, you're selling yourself along with the products of being somebody that's fun to be around and all that. So taking that and understanding that and then marketing that way in your social media and plays into all that. Does it make sense?
Yeah, so what you're talking about is developing your personal brand.
Right,
That's
yes.
what he's talking
Yeah.
about.
Could just add one more thing, is like, when you're there and you're trying to gain business, you might tense up, and as you're trying to gain business from the people that you're interacting with.
But I think what's really critical is to have a strategy, to have an idea of, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do to enhance my Facebook presence, and this is how I'm going to measure it. So if you start to do more on Facebook, I think it's important for you to be able to say, okay, well, I'm running this promotion, or I've gotten this many likes, and what am I doing right, and what am I doing wrong? So just constantly being able to look at it and seeing how it's affecting your business.
That's the beauty of digital marketing overall, is like you can make something or like kind of start to take a message to your audience and see how they react. If they're really into it, then you need to do more of that, and if they're not that into it, then try something else. So if you're finding one platform is not as good as another, then you focus on creating content for another.
And I don't really like Facebook personally. I don't really use it personally much, but I use it for business because it works.
Yeah, yeah. And Pinterest would work great for you.
Oh, it's perfect. They built it for me.
I mean, for me, there's no point.
No. No.
Selfies.
Every day.
Me and my computer. And
then once a month.
Sometimes like you just relate better to a certain person than somebody else, and you don't even need to know why necessarily. You just need to know these people like what I'm doing, and find more customers like that.
So if you could ask your customer one question after you do whatever you do for them, if you could ask them one question, what would be the question that you would ask them?
my first question was this enjoyable for you? Because obviously if they didn't have a great time and they didn't think it was enjoyable, then I didn't do my job. Because one of our things is wine is social and stuff.
But if you ask
So-
it in that way, you're just gonna get a yes or a no. If you change your verbiage a little bit, it gets into a conversation.
So
And you'll find out
What
what's
did you choose?
here,
Oh, it did.
here's what I think is the most important question. And you can get all kinds of information from this one question. Would you refer me to your friends and your family? Because if somebody says yes, then they're telling you that they enjoyed the experience. Okay?
Would people be honest though and say no, even if
Right,
they're,
face
you
to
know?
face especially.
I don't know, but
Like if you're a hard drive.
however you want.
I would tell you yes.
Well,
And if you say yes, then would you mind and give me 3?
hang on. If you, however you ask the question, whether you send them an email after, you send them a card or whatever, that
Want somebody potentially to take. And then you can make sure you're steering them, because if you don't ask, they might not think of it.
So out of everything you heard, 'cause we just threw a lot at you.
Wait.
So,
Wish I would've
so
pulled out a
what-
notebook, but I was too busy listening.
so what's the one thing that's standing out in your mind?
The biggest thing is for the referral, I guess, that's, just ask the question and, build that conversation.
So start there then. Because you can't do everything every, we
That
all
was
said it,
wrong.
but
No.
I told her, I said that.
Oh, sorry. Well, then we'll say it was this. See, this is why I hate asking questions.
yeah, so start, pick the top 3 things that you think could help your business most out of what you just heard, and start there. Yeah.
well, and the thing is too, that we all have different businesses, so different things work for us.
Yeah.
What works for us might not work for you, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't try it.
Yeah.
Try what you heard, throw away what doesn't work, and use what does, and you might find other things that work. And I mean, we've all been there. We've all, tried some kind of marketing strategy that didn't work. And I mean, when I first started, I advertised for like 4 months.
I can sponsor it as long as it's at my house.
Oh, okay. Can't be somewhere
Because of
else.
the way the winery has their liquor license with New York State, and we can only do private tasting, so
Just
in a
gonna
private.
start throwing parties.
So you
then.
Yeah, in a private
You
business.
can't do it at somebody else's house or.
I can do it at someone else's house or
Oh.
someone's place of business,
Well,
but,
We'll have a wine
yeah, like
party.
right here, I could do
Hey,
it,
well, that works.
Charge like $10 a person. Have a
I
little
can't
bit
charge
of wine.
anything.
No,
Yeah,
wine?
that's
No
good.
I can't charge
Yeah.
anything.
That's kind of.
That's just
I can't charge anything.
I'll have people show up.
The winery would get mad because then I'm competing with them.
13 on a summer night.
No,
If you were to sponsor an event, like actually be handing out wine at, say, a business or something, I would imagine that you could drum up some.
Yeah.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
If you
we can't, because New York State doesn't allow that. Yeah.
But you could do it here, you just said.
As long as it's private, so, but it's, as long as there's already a selected group of people that are attending,
Okay, so I would
Yeah.
set that up, man. Set that up and just start having parties.
yeah.
Literally, just start, that's what you do.
Yeah,
You will
that's
get
what
clients,
everyone
you'll have
wants-
so many
yeah.
clients, you won't even know what to do with them.
People will
I'll
come
tell you
for
right now.
free wine.
I do it once a month at my house, and
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Then you don't have to figure
How
out
do you
who your
publicize
perfect
one
client
that you
is.
have?
People will just come, right?
How do you
It's
publicize?
free wine.
I just kind of tell my friends, like, you've been to the tasting, you want to come back? They're like, yeah. I'm like, bring 2 people that's never been.
There you go.
Hook up with somebody that does Tupperware parties.
Or the sex.
There's got to be a fee for the service.
There you go.
Yeah, they do it for.
So you can charge
Wine
too.
tasting
Yeah.
group, I think,
Yeah.
no problem.
You see how much I like to do, like,
Yeah,
you like to
yes.
see how much I like to charge. My friends was like, you're actually on a meetup group? And they're like, wait a minute, you actually took the time to go online and find something? I was like, yeah, I did. It was just.
So there's the other key of like finding clients and having your business work is you gotta do stuff.
No, I'm very good with talking. I'm a people person. I'm old school, like 1980s, 90s. Like, I like to talk face to face. So, I don't know, the online thing is kind of weird for me.
This might be a little kitschy, but I think it could be real cute. I don't know if you do this, but what if you had like thematic wine tastings, like you had like girls' night, or you had your chocolate wines or whatever, and like, or if you had like Oscar party nights. I don't know. I mean, I'm just shooting off the hip, but
No, you guys are doing some great
I mean, you could maybe even come up with specials based on the month, and maybe that could be something that you could incorporate in your social media, right? Where you could say, stay tuned for like the special of the month, it's Valentine's Day. We have these chocolate wines, surprise your sweetheart with like some sweet wines or whatever. Do a wine tasting, and then people buy a bunch of wine from you, and then the next month you do a different thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind kinda cheesy?
No, I
People love
like
cheesy.
it.
I love cheesy stuff like that.
Don't
If there's
worry, it
like
sounds
a-
like in the comments. I'll be with the wine drink that's online.
gonna work on that.
Well, I think they've been using line like half of America's dumping ice water on themselves.
What's that?
Isn't it? Your thing started it?
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, same exact ALS, yeah. All those $100 comes to me.
It was ingenious, by the way.
It's not funny, I just got called out, I got 24 hours.
Oh, you
I
wanna
just
do it
donated.
right now on the
I figured-
webcast?
No, I saw the Facebook post, as I was getting out the car, my phone beeped, I was like, oh no, I was like.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when you shoot your video, before you put the bucket down, and then like, oh, let me pull out this wine out of this bucket first. What kind of wine is this? I'm gonna have my party and then dump it on yourself.
Brilliant.
Exploit that charity to have your business work, I'm telling you.
Well, that's why he runs the boot camp.
Yeah. All right, well, we're coming down to the 7 o'clock, so
Wow.
we burned through it,
Focus
but
on you.
guys were great.
But hopefully it was
Yeah.
worthwhile. I did want to say that the next Microbusiness Meetup is most likely going to be here again. I talked to Dig, and I believe they had a conflict with our date, but September 24th.